Jerry's Book Tree.
This is my class. These boys are in my class. They are always trying to get out of gym by saying they have a twisted ankle. This is Robert Granger. I mainly like to ignore him. This is my friend Betty Moody. Without her glasses, I am utterly a blur. My friend Rosa can't stop reading. My cousin Noah is a doodler. This is Bridget Garnett, and I have seen her put a pea up her nose. This is Mrs. Wilburton. You will have to do what Mrs. Wilburton says because it will mean staying behind cleaning the board if you don't. Sometimes I fall off my chair on purpose. This makes Mrs. Wilburton very irritated. Clarice Beans. What planet are you from? In school, we are learning about the planet Earth. Our planet Earth is large compared to Pluto, but compared to the Sun, Earth is a peppercorn. It's hard to think of ourselves living on a planet because it doesn't feel like we are standing on something round. It's amazing the sea doesn't spill off at the edges, but that's gravity for you. Gravity is a strange invisible force. You know it's there because you're not floating around like a jellyfish. Sometimes I think gravity is a pity. Mrs. Wilburton wants us to do a project called the environment, which is nature really. She has given us little books to write in. Nature is something I know lots about. We've got lots of it in our backyard. There's even nature in the Baldini's brother's yard. Although you wouldn't think so to look at it, it's mainly trash cans and concrete and pieces of old car. Robert Granger lives next door, and he is always trying to walk home with me. He says, "Hey Clarice Beans, wait for me." Luckily, I am a fast walker. When I got home, Granddad is buttering his tie into his sandwich. He hasn't noticed. He's too busy watching a special on nature. Granddad loves nature, especially when it's Australian. He likes the idea of living somewhere where not many people are. In Australia, you can drive for maybe squillions of days without noticing a single supermarket, just maybe a kangaroo or a wombat. He says, I can picture myself sitting in a deck chair on the top of Uluru, listening to baseball on the radio. But I'm just as happy watching the world go by under the tree on Navarino Street. That's our street. I am busy thinking about trees and planets and holes in the sky. I am sure there is a big hole above our house because my sister Maurice uses too much hairspray and is causing pollution. No ideas are coming into my head for a project. My mind is a blanket. So I go off and read my comics with the t-shirts and undies in the laundry room. Dad says, if it's nature you're after, you should take a peek at Kurt's bedroom. It's a regular safari in there. I am reading away when I hear a commotion. It's coming from the kitchen. So I scribble out to see what's going on. What happened is, my brother Kurt has rushed in and I can see right away that he's not normal because he is running. He never runs. He is flapping the local newspaper around. Dad says, what on earth has gotten into him? Mom says, it's his hormones. They are playing havoc at the moment. Hormones are things that buzz around in your body, causing pimples and making you find your family embarrassing. The paper says, tree to be chopped down on Navarino Street. It's a really nice tree too, and it is maybe even 100 years old. Kurt says, I won't have any dinner because I am too depressed to chew. Granddad switches off the television, so of course we know he's upset. The next day, I am a little bit late for school. Mrs. Wilburton tells me I have been paired up with Robert Granger for my project. She's done that on purpose. Noah and Betty Moody are doing a project on recycling, or what to do with their old trash, i.e. not drop it in the street. If we drop even one piece, my mom will go, pick that up at once, you little bug. She runs after people, waving their trash at them. It's very embarrassing. Robert Granger is making us do a project on who can walk faster, a snail or a worm. I say, but that's not important, Mrs. Wilburton. Mrs. Wilburton says, people who are late for school don't have a leg to stand on. I want to say that's very funny. I've got two, but I don't, or it would mean a trip to see Mr. Pickering, our principal. At least things are exciting at home. Kurt and his friend Morton are going to camp in the tree. Kurt says he's going to become an eco-warrior. He has a tent and everything. Dad says, how are you going to pitch a tent in a tree? Kurt isn't listening. He says, we're going to make a plan of action to stop all the destruction. Dad mutters, it's a shame he doesn't take action over all the destruction in his bedroom. Mom says, I'm just pleased Kurt is going to do something that involves the word action. When Morton arrives, Marcy runs upstairs to put on more makeup. Kurt and Morton have been gone for several hours and people are beginning to worry themselves sick, i.e. Mom. So when it's 8 o'clock, we go out to see how they're doing. They're sitting outside their tent. Granddad is there with a thermos and his friend Bert the shirt. We don't know why he is called Bert the shirt, he just always is. Then Robert Granger comes trotting along. I just can't get rid of him. He says, why is your brother camping, Clarice Beans? Is he on vacation? I say, no one takes a vacation on their own street, nitwit. They're having a protest. He says, they can't be protesting, they don't have any signs. Kurt gets a bit down in the mouth. Mom tries to cheer him up. She's really proud of Kurt and Morton and pleased with what they're doing. Marcy's just pleased to see Morton. So after school on Wednesday, me and Noah make some posters. Of course, Mino, my squirty younger brother, wants to join in. We write Free the Tree because it rhymes. Noah is mostly doing the pictures. Noah is a good drawer. He can draw anything except a camel or a horse. So don't bother asking him. When we have finished, we all go down to the tree. We leave a note for Dad because, of course, he's still at the office, working like a maniac. Kurt is very pleased with our posters, and he slightly smiles even though Minnow has made a spelling mistake, and no one can spell the word environment. When Dad gets home, he wonders where all the quiet is coming from. Then he sees our note. He decides to make us some spaghetti marinara. No meat because Kurt won't eat anyone with 4 legs or feathers. Dad would much rather cook for a living. But he's up to his ears in the wheeling and dealing business and someone's got to bring home the bacon. I like to cook too. I do ketchup on toast and in summer, mayo on the tomato. Hardly any dishes are involved. We are all sitting in the tree, eating spaghetti, when suddenly someone rushes over and takes our picture. The next thing we know, we are all famous in the local paper. Of course Robert Granger gets himself in the picture. When I get to school, I am in big trouble. Mrs. Wilburton wants to know why I am late again and where the dickens is my snail and worm project. I say, I've been up till all hours saving the planet on our street. Mrs. Wilburton says, I can assure you I will be calling your mother. I say, she can't get to the phone right now, Mrs. Wilburton, because she's up a tree. Mrs. Wilburton says, right, that does it, young lady. We do not tolerate nonsense in this class. Robert Granger says, but it's true, Mrs. Wilburton. He shows her the picture from the paper, and Mrs. Wilburton looks a little funny in the face. And that is absolutely the only time Robert Granger has been useful. Ever. My project this week, I have been being an eco-warrior. Being an eco-warrior means you must use recycled toilet paper because toilet paper is made out of trees. Trees are important because they stop Earth from running out of air. Without trees, we have to live in bubbles like astronauts. Trees are also like ginormous vacuum cleaners sucking up pollution. And that is why some people think it's important to sit in a tree even if it's raining, and you have to be late for one measly day of school. Mrs. Wilburton's smile is a little tight at the edges, but of course she has to say, well done, Clarice Beans.
Thanks for watching!